Hey everyone, it's your friend here, Raza the Retro, and I hope everyone is remaining retro. You might be wondering why I have a Zoom recording meeting with the one and only Rampage Talk. Well, we're here today to discuss with you a very, very serious topic. It's a topic that has been affecting millions around the world. Have you ever stopped and wondered where your Sega addiction comes from? Have you ever stopped and wondered why your credit card bill is so high with Sega product purchases? I mean, Sega started at sometime in 1990s or 1980s. God knows when it started. Right now, it's 2024. Why would you need to buy Sega products or Sega games? Well, today we have the Rampage Talk to help us discover why millions and millions of people have this disgusting addiction.
I have lost my house. I have lost my family. I have lost my life due to this man. This is no joke. We must find out. We must let everyone know where the real Sega problem lies. Who is responsible for this? I have lost everything. And people wonder why I am the rampaging Hulk. We're going to find out now. So, Mr. Razaramon, can we please get to it? I don't have all night. I need to find a home to live in.
No, most definitely we are going to get into it, but obviously, first, before we get into it, a big thank you for you for taking out the time to speak with us today, and to expose.
Thank me when the culprit is dead, please.
Well, that might just be a little too extreme, but I understand your frustration and I understand where
Thank you.
you're coming from. However, we brought the Rampage talk because he knows 16 bits and Bob quite well. And, for the longest time, he thought they were cousins, but in actuality, they're not even related. But we will get to that when the time is right. Now, the best way to understand your addiction, your problem, why, people are losing their homes, their families, Rampage, I myself came very close to your situation, but I was able to overcome it, which I'll talk about later on. But basically, to understand where this comes from, we actually need to understand the story of 16 bits and Bob, the origin. Who is this man? What is this man? Where did he come from? I mean, he wasn't just born into Sega, was he? No, he built his empire one step at a time. And I believe Rampage, you have some insight about his origins or how he started with working with Sega.
So, yes, I've been doing much research in the local library since I don't have a home to live in. So let me share my screen with you all. Let's share this. Come on, let's show you. Let's. What's this? Okay, this should work now. Oh, come on. Settings. Share. Apologies about this. There's an error on my side. I believe the privacy and security of the library is too high to allow me to. What is this? Hang on.
No worries, Rampage talk. Take as much time as you need, so long as this evil man gets exposed.
Okay, time is of the essence. Can you see? Oh my god, what is going on here? 1 second. Can you all see this?
Yes, most definitely. It appears it is a Japanese family with a
Okay, before we
Commodore.
even get into that,
Yes,
let's take a look at the history of 16 bits and Bob's real name, or is it Ali Ali? As you can see from his professional profile on LinkedIn, we have camera operator and content creator. Now, Now you can all see how this makes sense. So he's been in the digital world since birth. Look at his sadistic profile picture. Look at that evil laugh. Camera operator at the BBC News. He is a well-known face in the industry. It may not be gaming, but nevertheless, he's truly hiding something here. 8 years as BBC. It only dates back to 2015. Now, what has happened before this, no one will ever know. But let's now take a look at his Instagram page. As we can see here, he's a
I
digital.
do I do have a question, sorry. Are you saying that the information on this page is not real? Are you saying it's made up?
It's a cover. That's what I'm saying. It's a cover.
I
It's all
actually think
sense.
I think it's not even real. I mean, if you look at the information, first of all, if I may, right? Um, whose name is Ali Ali? That's like if I name myself Bobby Bobby. It just doesn't make any sense. Second of
You
all,
have a
if you look
very
at the
valid point.
if you look at the followers, those are not even real names. I mean, who is Elgin Halil and Rinja like these are made up names. These are not actual people. This is a cover up, like you've mentioned. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there.
You have a very good, very, very valid point. But if we then click on YouTube, what's this? Where does this take you to? Where does this take you to? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Where is this taking us to now? It's him! 16 bits and bobs. This is his YouTube channel. Or should we say his former YouTube channel after he left YouTube?
But this has
Say
nothing
it
to do with
everywhere.
BBC. Sorry, I just had to mention that. This has nothing to do with BBC. Why would that be on his LinkedIn channel? Or his LinkedIn
Exactly.
page, rather, excuse me.
None of this makes sense. It's all who is he even a real person?
You know,
Is
that
he
was something I was thinking about. I've always thought, because nobody that I know actually knows him personally, and I always thought for a while he was like a figment of my imagination.
we are stepping into virtual worlds now, Raza. I mean, so here we have 16 bits and bobs covered in Sega everywhere, as you can see. Sega. We have LinkedIn Ali Ali. But let's step into the Instagram account. So let me just show you his Instagram page, Ali Ali. But his name is Ali Ali here, but then it says 16 bits and bobs here. So what is happening? Ali Ali, 16 bits and bobs. If we scroll down to his images, look at it all. Look at it. Sega, Castle of Illusion, Sega Megadrive, customized edition. Did he make this Megadrive?
Who knows?
As we go down, all it is Sega. Sega Sonic CD, Road Rash, Streets of Rage. Look at it all. Look at it. Look, it's
Hold on.
never ending.
Hold on. Sorry, you must scroll back up. I do apologize. I do apologize to intervene, but up. Is that Street Fighter 2 on Sega? Meaning one of the greatest games of all time played on that disgusting three-button controller?
This is something that you must raise with 16 bits and bobs directly. If he even responds. Does he respond to his comments?
Is
There isn't
he a
even any
real
comments
person?
on this post. There's no comments.
For the longest time, you two were known as cousins, and most recently, you found out you are not cousins. What I want to ask you is he a real person? Have you ever met this sick pain bits and Bob Bell?
I have met 16 bits and bobs, but whether that was real or in my dreams, I'll never know, Raza. I will never know because let's take a look at his image that he shared but was suddenly taken down quite swiftly. But I have to scroll through previous images on other accounts to just to find this image now. So if you just bear with me while it takes me a year to find it, where is it gone? Here we go. Right. No, I don't want the dictionary. Right, let's find this image that was swiftly taken down.
Was this the image that I shared with you, or was this the one that he sent out to you?
No, this is something that he shared amongst the community on Instagram.
Okay, because you were looking at the
But
chat between you and I.
I am. But
Yeah.
if I go to
Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying now. Yes,
see,
please
look,
explain.
16 bits and bobs shared this image, Sega and a Commodore 64 and an upset child. Now, some would say that he was this child and he was so upset from his family getting him a Commodore 64 that he invented the Sega Mega Drive, the Sega Genesis, the Sega Master System. Now, this was a point that we needed to discuss here because if we take a look, oh no, hang on, what's going on here? What's going on here? Wait, wait, I'm getting lost. See, look, he's already confusing me. He's already confusing me. I can't get the Zoom chats back.
Well, don't worry about it. Like Feed Me Chicken used to call him 16 bits and confusion, and there's a reason for that because he can confuse you.
But let's one moment. What's going on here? How do I get back to the oh, this is a nightmare. He's truly confused me now.
What I'll do in the meantime, if that's okay, is I'll just quickly explain his story of how he got to, um, you know, where he is essentially, where he started with this whole Sega nonsense. However, it might be a little different from what you heard, but regardless, I'll quickly share it. If that's okay. So,
Okay. Go ahead, please.
16 bits and Bob, Mr. Ali Ali, or at least that's what he called himself. Started working in Tokyo, Japan as a local janitor at the Sega headquarters. At the time, they were hiring. He actually wanted to work, like behind the scenes, but due to the fact that he was not able to speak Japanese, or at least he claims he wasn't able to speak Japanese, and that's another story in itself, which we're going to get to very soon. He started off as a janitor. Now, we believe that he purposely started off as a janitor because he wanted to start from the bottom and build an empire. Because you see, when you need to build an empire, you can't start from the top, right? What comes down must go up, and what is up must go down. You see, 16 bits and Bob is a very smart and philosophical man. So he said, why not start the bottom of the food chain? As time progressed, he worked his way up, and essentially, he was able to get a job with the Sega marketing team. Now, Rampage Talk said that he was the creator of the Master System. However, from what I've heard from my research, and again, this could be wrong, he actually didn't create the Master System. That was created by, the team that was working on that particular console at the time. However, what I have learned is that he is actually the creator of the Mega Drive or the Genesis, depending on where you live, right? And he is the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. Because if you look at his Facebook page or his Instagram or his LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever, he hardly talks about the Master System. In fact, all he talks is about the Sega Mega Drive, the Mega Drive, the Mega Drive, the Mega Drive. Because this is the console that this man created to take young boys and girls, young men, young women, or even old, and lead them astray. What I mean by that
Leave them with nothing.
to take them to the dark side. Now, one would ask, well, how can this man come up with an idea like Sonic? It's very simple. You ever notice that this man kind of has a resemblance? It's Andrew Tate. You ever notice that he looks like somebody that could be in the Matrix? What if I told you that Sonic the Hedgehog was actually a metaphor, if you will, for whether you take the blue pill or the red pill? Why do you think Sonic is blue? 16 Bits and Bob is using quite some tactic to manipulate the minds of millions of people without them realizing. I'm not going to go too much into it yet, but what I will say is that with his creation of Sonic, with his creation of the Mega Drive, he made millions. And to be fair, they were both brilliant things. The console itself was brilliant, and the game itself was brilliant as well. However, as time progressed, eventually, as we all know, Sega stopped creating consoles. He had this great idea of making a Dreamcast, which was a good console as well. But at the end of the day, that's where Sega finished. That's where the story ended. So now we ask the question, and maybe it's something that you might have heard of Rampage Talk, is what did 16 Bits and Bobs do after the fall of the Dreamcast? Because essentially, how was this man still making money? How was he still surviving? How was the empire of Sega still alive even after the Dreamcast?
These are these are questions that no human can answer, Raza. However, there are theories that we can circulate all day. Let me just share some of these theories with you right now. As we can see on his Instagram page, he has invented new products. In the meantime, he has been reinventing Sega as a brand. Now, if we see, look, on his Instagram page, on his own page, if we click on this, we have a Genesis watch that has been recently released. 16-bit cut. This is a look in your face.
In your face,
16-bit.
indeed.
Exactly. Genesis, look at it. Look at how many models there are. Look, Mega Drive, Anicorn watches, a big name brand. Okay. He's been developing items. Look, customized Mega Drives. You see. Now, let's just take a step back to what we was talking about him starting off as a janitor.
Mm.
Okay, so now on his profile on his Instagram page, he has shared this image. It is an upset child, a family who bought him a Commodore 64 as a present. Now look how upset this child was. Now, from this upset, this is how he started the empire. He started off as a T-boy in the Sega head offices, worked his way up to a janitor, because this will forever remain in his nightmares. After receiving this Commodore, he could not forgive. So as you can see here, now the theories are that this picture of this poor child here is actually 16 bits and bobs.
Is it
Now,
true?
it's true. It is true, because let me show you something now. Okay. Let me just show you something. Now, let me just share it again. No, that's not going to work. Maybe if you shared your screen, we could have a look at the profile pictures. You wouldn't even need to share your screen, actually. People can see this here.
And I know
Look.
what you're referring to. I know
Yes.
exactly what you're referring to.
Now, please enlighten everyone on what I am referring to here. Comparing the image that you've just seen of the poor, upset child of the Chinese family.
You know, I've always wondered because he always said that, he lived in England and he came from a country called North Cyprus, which, I've never even heard of. I don't even know if it's a real place.
North
But
what?
anyways, I digress. If you ever notice and you look at his eyes, does he not have them perfectly planted like a Japanese man? Does he not have a perfectly shaped bald head and a perfectly shaped goatee like a Japanese man? It is true, people. 16 bits and Bob, Mr. Ali Ali, is not the person that you think he is. I cannot say his real name because I do fear for my life, but what I can say is that he is Japanese. Do you not
Let it be.
see it, people?
Let it be known. Look at the face. Look at his face. Look at the eyes. Look at the sadistic smile. That's not a real smile. That's a manipulation face. Look at it. He wants you to lose everything in that smile, just like I did.
I don't know if you remember he kept saying that he was traveling to places like Scotland and Ireland and China and Malaysia and Myanmar and Mozambique and all these great nations. You know why? He was building home because he has all that money from
My God,
people like you and I who lost everything, or in my case, almost lost everything.
he was traveling the nation. He told me that he was buying a new car. It's his lies. It is. Let's just take what's this here we have? Let's have a look here. Let me just share this with you all. Okay, so on his Instagram page, we have a video here. I mean, where is this magnificent city?
Looks like Dubai or
As
New
you can
York.
see, as you can see, it looks like yes, it looks like New York City. NY, he's even got in the description. Now, what exactly is he doing here? He's saying here that he's done a charity, Athletes Foundation. Now, it's all a cover up. This is all a cover up. Why would you have that amongst all this Sega madness? Look, look. Why would you have that amongst all of this? As you can see, look, Sega t-shirt, Sega zombie t-shirt, I might add,
And look at the
against Bowser.
disrespect. Look at the disrespect. Standing next to a complete legend, an all-time legend, Bowser, and you're showing your fist. How dare you? Sorry.
Sega versus Nintendo. It says it all. It says it all. He's coming for everyone.
Does this man not know limit?
This man has no limits. Look, look at it. It's nothing but Sonic and Sega. Look at the
I
smiles. Look at the smiles. Look
I
at
do
this.
have a quick question for you, not to cut you off, because I do notice that there's a remaining time of like 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Ha, 16.
Yeah, how convenient.
Um,
How convenient.
but
It controls
um,
us even through the call.
we might have to do a part two. However, within the 5 minutes that we have, what do you want to say? And then maybe I could say whatever I need to say, and we might have to come back to part two, because it might not just be enough time to finish his story because it is a story indeed. But what do you want to add within these next 4 minutes and 45 seconds?
I don't want to waste my breath anymore on this man. I have nothing to say, nothing good to say. And I am running out of time. I must now find somewhere to live. I must find a new family, a new life to build from the ground up, almost like he did in the Sega offices.
Exactly.
I'm replicating his life now. Have you ever thought about that?
You're basically gonna have to maybe even become what he has become just to
Something,
survive.
something is taking a hold of me. I could feel my face transforming. I could feel the loss of my hair from my head.
That is something that interested me. He had all this money and he never like, did something about the hair. I mean, he looks good with a bald head, don't get me wrong. Good looking guy, but I mean, with all that Sega money, you would think he could do something about the hair, no?
I mean, he clearly he but the thing is that even a real head? Does he have hair underneath the head itself? I mean, even with all that money, everything is Sega. Everything is Sonic. I mean, you saw the watch, you saw the
Yes,
products,
I
the
did.
product line,
I did. I did.
and
I
also
actually, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. My
news,
mistake.
and also news on new Sega coming back.
Yeah.
But that's a subject we're going to have to cover in another time because
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Part two, just a quick head up, there will be a part two. We have to. We're going to talk about the Sega curse. It is real. I know you people laughed at me when I mentioned it, but we will talk about that. We will save that for part two. We will talk about the gaming awards because that is significant. And Rampage Talk has the information about the new Sega console. It's not something that I'm actually aware of. So he will explain what his plans are for the future for this Mr. known as 16 bits and let's steal money from people.
yes, yes. Well, thank you for your time. It has given me true insights of who this man really is, or who he really is. He really not.
We got about 1 minute 55 in, I guess, say 60 seconds. What do you want to finish off with? And then I'll finish off and then we'll do part two when we get the chance for sure.
Well, I have. I'm about to go and purchase a customized Mega Drive from an unknown source.
And you see, that's the curse. It's making you do things that you know you shouldn't, but you still end up doing it. But
I
again,
have no money. I have no money. I have nowhere to live. Yet I must go and buy a customized Mega Drive. Something is urging me. Something's taking hold.
something very dark and evil. I understand. It's it's not right. However, I think we'll end it off like that. I just want you guys to know that you ever notice that Sega backward is ages? Think about that
God.
next time you hear from us.
Oh my
Until
God.
then, take care and remain retro.